Little announcement to make here. As I do a few things in the greenhouse. So I want to change up how I'm providing content and value to people. I do a lot of consults online, site consults, 500 plus so far in the last 20 years, and I very grateful for that work. I've been making videos on here for, I don't know, 15 years, 10 years. I don't make a lot, as you guys know who follow this. I'm not like a regular content producer. I spend my time, on the farm, on the homestead, doing what I need to do. But I really want to share. We do our permaculture design course every year. That's a total highlight. Not many people can come to that compared to how many of you guys are out there in the internet world, all over the, anyone who essentially understands English can learn from what I'm offering. And so I want to be able to reach more of you, and I want to take that feedback that people have provided to me over the years, that you could reach a lot more people. You need to kind of up your game in terms of how you offer content and value to people. So I got a new camera after a bunch of years of having the old GoPro. I got a new GoPro. That's what I'm using now. And I've got a new approach I think I'm going to try, where I'm going to try to make more videos. I'm going to try to keep them more brief. And they're just going to be snippets of what I'm doing, on the homestead and farm. Not every day, but maybe once a week at least, once every couple weeks, sometimes more, sometimes in the middle of the winter, a little bit less, because that's what I'm doing, most every day for a chunk of the day, besides doing design work, with my business, or when I'm doing consults. So I want to share more with you guys. I want to hear from you how to do it in a way that's valuable. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing like beautiful video creation and editing, editing video. That's not where I want to spend my time. I don't want to make long videos. I don't want you guys to sit and watch video for very long. I want you out there doing it. So I want to kind of have them be just quick hits, and then where I can maybe answer questions. And so probably I'll keep putting stuff on YouTube. There'll be clips, and then I'll probably make a platform with the help of some people who have been telling me to do this for a long time on Patreon or something that's just really cheap, like, essentially like a cost of a coffee or two for a whole month subscription, where people can join, and then I can justify spending, maybe a couple hours a month sitting with everyone on a Zoom call or whatever the platform is. And if any of you guys do this professionally or have done it for people, I'm open to hiring you to help me do this. But I'm going to make this happen, I think, in the next few months. And then I could sit with, dozens or hundreds of people and answer questions, be face-to-face, virtually face-to-face, and hear from people directly. I want this to be more interactive. I want it to be more potent. I want to have it not take a ton of time for you guys or me, but I want to share what's going on, because there's a lot, every day. And so anyway, I'm going to use this selfie stick that I have now, although I don't like the whole idea, but it seems like that's what people say I should be doing. But I'm also going to use, and I know it's going to make some of you a little nauseous, but that's why I got this new camera, because it's very, it can buffer movements of point of view. So see, I need both my hands. I don't want to have a videographer here walking around with me, although people have said, hey, do that, you'll have great content. Do more of those videos you've done before with Olivier Asselin, and other people have been here, Costa. But I don't want someone following me around. I don't want to coordinate with them. I need to do what I need to do. I need both my hands, so I'm not going to walk around with this selfie stick for very long. I want to be doing, and I want you guys to be able to watch along and then be able to ask questions and comments and have some interaction. So this is what I've used for skiing for a lot of years, this headband. And I can wear the GoPro, and what I'm going to just try to do is make sure it's in a way that doesn't make you guys nauseous. So it's slow, It's buffered. I got to make this fit. See, again, I need 2 hands. And it's done in a way, basically, that you can see my point of view, which I think has a lot of value to it, and see my hands working. And as long as we do it without making you guys nauseous or give you a headache, I think this could work. Actually, I know it can work. I've seen some examples of it. And sometimes I think I have made it work, but sometimes I definitely have made you guys a little bit nauseous. So let me know what you guys think. Right now, I'm just going to put that on, and I'm going to show you what I've been doing in the greenhouse. I kind of did a lot of this the other day, and I made a video with my phone, but I didn't really like it, so I'm not going to upload that. I'm just going to show you today, because we're transitioning the greenhouse, which we do every year around now, from peppers and tomatoes, which we really need to grow inside a lot of years, although this summer was nice and hot, and they did grow very well outside. Hot peppers, not so much, but tomatoes raged it outside. And we turn it around to having spinach, which is just coming up right here. There's probably some other weed seed that I'll have to deal with because I let this go crazy in the understory. I'll talk about the sprinkler system for a minute. So these are the pretty sorry peppers, actually. They usually are like this big, but they got a little shaded out. We're letting them go a little further. The further they go, the hotter they get to a point. We're curing our onions and drying some cilantro, which we save. We pretty much haven't bought cilantro seed in many years now. And I don't want to let go of the last bit of beautiful sun golds, which are my favorite. They're a hybrid, so that's kind of a bummer, but they're awesome. And we do grow some hybrids. And so I let those, I kept some of those in. They're not taking up any room. I can still sow everything, have this other yield kind of just run on a little longer, ripen some more tomatoes from outside, because we're just starting to get frost. We haven't yet. It's actually pretty amazing we haven't gotten frost yet, but we usually do by now. Someone else, actually, Mark Krawczyk, my colleague, co-designer of teacher of the permaculture course, got a frost 2 nights ago. A bummer for you, Mark, but happy that we weren't the first, because usually we are up here at like 1,500 feet in this mountain valley. And so anyway, that's good news. So there's still stuff raging outside. Carrots are doing great. Some of the cold crops have a little bit of growth left in them, but we're coming down to it now. So we're just getting in winter mode. So anyway, let me put this on, show you a few things I'll do here. Not much, because I kind of just already explained a bit of it. But let me know your thoughts about the new idea here of new content, different format of content. Same content, different format. Hopefully a lot more potent for you guys. I don't want you watching 20 minutes of video, even ideally 10 minutes. Like, I'd like to make quick 2-minute, 5-minute, maybe 8-minute things, at the most, ideally. Maybe that's realistic for most things. We'll see. So thanks, God. All right, so here's a little test, guys, of how this is going to work. I want your feedback. I think I've shared about this. This is totally the way we're going now. This is version 3.0. I can turn on water at the hose. I can turn on drip irrigation system. I can send it to the garden, to the greenhouse. I can send it to one side of the garden. There's another pipe going this way with a ball valve right here. I let the grass come up around it to protect it from the sun, by the way, so I can turn on that side of the garden by doing that. Close it. Can turn on this side of the garden right here. You can't see it, but there's a ball valve right there. Turn that off. You need a lot of details for this to some extent. There's a pressure reducer because this comes off the well right now, but I can also take it from gravity or solar pump, which I haven't hooked up right now. And then I can undo it in the winter very quickly with a coupling. So I originally did attach it directly. That's obviously not a quick release situation, but since we have to have this all undone really soon because things are about to freeze, that's why this is epoxied. It got frozen 1 year. We use a union. So unions are great for that. So this has worked out great. This is the easiest thing. I can turn this, walk away, no batteries, water the whole greenhouse, water the whole garden. Super easy. Got to have a filter for drip system. So this all going to drip or sprinklers. And then I have This is a Mazzy injector, which is awesome. Great way of metering fertilizer. I can put this in a bucket of urine or fish emulsion, and it takes like 1 unit of that material for every like 100 units going out. I think it's like 95, whatever. So that's a Mazzy fertilizer injector. You just turn these ball valves to get that to suck it in as it goes out. Anyway, it's working really great. It's saved us so much time. So here's the kind of current state of the greenhouse. I was just telling you guys about what we're doing now. I'm testing these different sprinklers. This is one, gets a lot wider range. These are super cheap. So this is like $2 or something for something like that. Drip Depot. It's the new DripWorks. Way better than DripWorks now. DripWorks kind of went totally south, unfortunately, with COVID. Not from COVID, but from the COVID response. So they have no service really anymore, and have a lot less products too, it seems. So anyway, these don't quite cover the garden. You can see I move them a little. They're very short radius, but they work awesome and they're cheap. Since they are tiny radius, they get in the way because you got to have a lot of them. So, and this tends to kind of be screwy like that. So I'm not sure which ones I like most yet. I like how little these are, but maybe these on a 3-foot wicket versus on a 14-inch wicket. They were supposed to be that actually, and they came on a short wicket. Probably I really like these, but maybe on taller wickets so they get a wider area. And they water quick. I mean, I don't turn this on for more than about 5 minutes because it's soaked, the area that it's in. So if they're on a taller wicket, they'd get a bigger area and maybe take a little longer, and that's fine. I don't mind if I water for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So anyway, couple things here. These are fall sown shallots, which I'll resow. Fantastic yield for a supplement to our onions and garlic, which we grow okay, but they're sometimes finicky, and we always kind of need more. Although this year we're doing pretty good. This is probably 25, 30 pounds. So I'll take the smallest ones. Love to hear input on this because I'm only about 4 years into growing shallots, especially fall sown. I don't quite understand the whole deal, but I think I'm going to replant the small ones. My buddy Eric, who's a professional veggie grower, Cornell veggie crops specialist, says the big ones will tend to flower, so replant your small ones. Now, like when we plant garlic, and we had like a 30-inch by maybe it was 15 feet to get these 25, 30 pounds. Now they're small, so they're a little pain in the butt to process. Not like a big onion, but they're really tasty, and you don't really need very many, so it's not bad. Plus, it gives you a whole season that you don't get on other stuff, because it's not that it grows in the winter, but it's a fall sown plant, so it changes it up. It's when you're not busy doing other things, then it's growing all season, and the key thing is it gives you an early yield, much earlier than the onions. I mean, it's a month earlier, so then it shortens your season. We don't really have onions last a full year. So although the cipollinis honestly do come close, and with better storage they might, but it's nice to get a newer earlier onion yield. And so that's what's awesome about those fall sown shallots, I think. We have some beautiful regular old large shallots. And some of our onions did really well this year. But this is just enough onions for us for a year, not even quite. Although with that supplement, it is. So that's really cool. Curing onions, I'm no pro at, but I'm working on. And what I'm learning now is that we typically dry them out on our deck, but we've had a real snap in weather and it's no longer very dry and sunny. And so I put them in here, and now the nights are getting cold. It's almost frosting. They're kind of condensing because it's humid in here. A lot of pro growers cure their onions in their hoop house. It's not ideal, I don't think. Like, these are moist now, so I'm going to put them in a kind of sunroom of the house, which will be much drier, and just finish them off. So that's one thing I'm learning is that, you know, I typically do them outside, and I see a lot of growers do them in hoop houses. It's dry in here on sunny days, but we don't have that weather right now. So these are getting, and it's cold at night, so they're kind of getting really moist. Not ideal. So I'm going to bring them in, finish them off for just a few more days inside, and then we'll put them in their crates, or we can hang from bags. I just typically put them in crates and on shelves. And onion bags work too, I've heard, maybe even a little better. But they store really well, especially the yellow and the Cipollini. These are Patterson, I think, which are known to be great storage. I think these are the first year we're growing Patterson, specific Patterson variety. So that'll be cool. And then I'll put these shallots in too, all of them. Shallots are amazing. I really try to emphasize shallots now. They're a little more finicky to grow for us, but these are awesome shallot sizes. And they're just tastier in some ways than onions. And the best thing is they just store. They store even better than Cipollini onions, in my experience. So, we'll bring these in, we'll dry them out. I wanted to say a few things about the bow frame greenhouse. I'll probably do a whole talk just on this. Starting to rain outside? Or is it the irrigation? I hear some stuff. This can be built for a few $100s. Super burly. Has held up to winds really, really well. I mean, if you have a mill, it's even easier if you're near a mill, but these are 1x3s. A little less than 1x3s are like 7/8. They need to be pretty clear. You'll break some. I probably broke 10% when I made the bows. But this is going to be in my book revision in some detail, like how to build these. But the deal is, in brief, try to have the frame float off the ground so it never rots. I pounded angle iron to bedrock, which is only 14 inches down in some places here or less. And then really, the most of the money in this structure, 80% of it was spent on this polycarb, which you want because you want a rodent-proof, like that goes into the ground, so rodents just don't come in here. I mean, this is still not rodent-proof, but it's rodent-resistant. So you need that interaction with the ground, and this slopes like a foot from high to low. So I needed a way to take up that grade difference, because this I wanted horizontal, the sill. So there's a height difference there, and I wanted everything else horizontal, but the ground is at an angle. So that difference is taken up in the polycarb, buried more there than over there. And also for snow, you don't want snow piling up against this. This gets a huge snow. Snow will build up to here, and that's okay. I'll sometimes shovel it, not much. I wanted a snowproof building. That was my big motivation. Snowproof greenhouse, steep. And you can adjust the angle on this however you want. And I went really narrow. You could get more space in non-snowy climate. You could have this building look more like this. You can do whatever you want. Should have a ridge beam. The original plans say to have one. I didn't have one because I built this entirely myself in a couple days. Solo, raised it and everything solo. If I had one other helper at the time, I would have put a ridge beam in. It would have been better for a couple different reasons. With the diagonal bracing, I mean, this thing is not going anywhere in this plane, and even in this plane is beefy. This helps with snow a lot, the polycarb. So anyway, that's one of the big reasons to put that in. It's hemlock, 2x6s on the bottom, 7/8. So now you see that one's working better. That needs a little more pressure, like 12 psi. Sometimes the well pump is varying. Anyway, it's been so worthwhile. I mean, we've already gotten way more than, $350 worth of produce out of here, plus season extension. And these work great. Just wax-filled cylinders from Farm Tech or other sources with a piece of polycarb hinged on the bottom so you dump heat out. This does not overheat. I mean, if I leave this door closed, it could get pretty hot in here. I leave this open in the summer a lot. But still, it really vents very well. But the door is the intake air. The two vents up here is the outtake air. And that works really well. So I'm going to turn this off. I just mainly wanted to demo the water system for you, and I'm going to start putting this away. But please, guys, let me know what you think. Oh, also, these shelves are not here often. They're here to start the garden in the spring. I just welded up brackets, and it's just sitting on there right now. I will bolt them on or put a screw in them, but honestly, it's just another thing to do. So they're just sitting here, big pieces off the mill. And we start our garden here in the spring, take them off, everything grow in the beds. I actually put them right on the path, and they'll last a long time that way. So anyway, this is a little longer than I'm aiming for, but want to hear your thoughts, and maybe we'll have a new way of approaching this. Thanks, guys.